Most English learners spend years studying textbooks and still freeze up the moment a native speaker says, "So what do you do?" 20 verbs are standing between you and the confidence to hold any conversation in English. And by the end of this episode, you will know all of them. Hey, Alex, how is your French coming along? Did you practice this week?
Oh, a little bit. I was trying to watch a French movie last night, but honestly, I kept losing track of what was happening. What about you? Still doing Spanish?
Yeah, I was actually on a language app this morning before we started recording. I learned this one verb, quedarse, which means to stay or to remain. And I kept thinking, wow, English learners must feel the exact same way I do right now. Like, one verb does not feel like a lot, but the right verb can unlock so much.
That is such a good point. And that is actually what today's episode is all about, right? We're talking about verbs, specifically the 20 verbs that every English learner should know and actually use in real conversations.
Exactly. And we are not going to just read a list at you because that is boring and you will forget everything in 10 minutes. We want to use these verbs the way real people use them, so you hear them in context.
Right, because the goal of this podcast is for you to listen, absorb the language naturally, and build up that ear for how English actually sounds in everyday life. Not textbook English, real English.
Okay, so let's start with the first group. I want to call these the everyday action verbs. These are the ones you will use literally every single day.
Love it. Let's go. Number 1, get.
Get is everywhere in English. You get up in the morning, you get to work, you get hungry, you get tired. It is one of those verbs that seems simple, but actually does 100 different jobs.
I was going to say, when I was first thinking about how to explain get to someone learning English, I realized how wild it is. Get can mean receive, arrive, become, understand, buy.
Right. Did you get my message? That is receive. Did you get to the store? That is arrive. I get it now. That is understand.
So for listeners, pay attention to the context around get, because the meaning changes depending on what comes after it. That brings us to number 2, make.
Make is another one that does a lot of heavy lifting in English. You make breakfast, you make a decision, you make a mistake, you make a friend.
And make can also express how something causes you to feel, like, that music makes me happy, or this weather makes me want to stay inside.
I love that one. I say that all the time. This cold makes me want to stay inside, especially in winter. Which, by the way, I feel like English learners sometimes get make and do confused.
Oh, yes. Number 3, do. People mix these up constantly, and honestly, even people who speak English natively use them almost without thinking.
The general rule is do is for activities and general tasks. Make is for creating something or producing a result. You do your homework, you make a cake.
You do the laundry, you make the bed. Although I have to say, make the bed is weird because you are not really making anything, you are just straightening it.
That is English for you. It does not always follow its own rules. And that is why listening to real conversations is so valuable, because you start to feel which one sounds right, even if you can't explain exactly why.
Okay, number 4, take. This one is used in so many combinations. You take a break, you take a shower, you take a picture, you take a walk.
And again, take has a core meaning of picking something up or moving it from one place to another, but in everyday speech, it stretches way beyond that. Take your time. It takes courage. Take a look at this.
I use take probably 50 times a day and I never even notice.
Same. Let's keep moving. Number 5, give. You give someone advice, you give a presentation, you give it a try.
Give it a try is such a useful phrase. I say that to myself when I'm trying something scary in French. Come on, Alex, give it a try.
That is sweet. And give shows up in a lot of expressions, too. Give me a minute, give it a rest, give someone a hand, which means to help someone or to applaud them, depending on the context.
Which is another example of why context is so important. Okay, let's move into the next group. I want to call these the thinking and feeling verbs because a huge part of conversation is sharing your thoughts and emotions.
Good call. Number 6, think. This one seems obvious, but there are so many ways to use it. I think it is going to rain. What do you think about this idea? I was just thinking about you.
And think is great for expressing opinions in a soft, polite way. Instead of saying, that is wrong, you can say, I think there might be a better way. It sounds less aggressive.
That is a really practical tip. In everyday English, especially in professional or social settings, people soften their opinions with I think.
Number 7, feel. This one is big for emotional expression, but also for physical sensations. I feel great today. I feel a little off. I feel like we have talked about this before.
Feel like is so useful. It expresses that you have a sense of something, even if you're not completely sure. I feel like it's going to be a long week.
Yes, and for learners, feel is one of those verbs where you do not usually use the continuous form. You don't say, I am feeling happy right now, unless you're being very specific. You just say, I feel happy.
Good grammar note there. Number 8, know. Simple but powerful. I know, right? Do you know what I mean? I don't know about that.
I don't know about that is one of my favorite ways to express doubt without being rude. Instead of saying, I disagree, you say, I don't know about that, and it leaves room for conversation.
It is diplomatic. English does a lot of that kind of softening. Number 9, understand. This is related to know, but it goes deeper. You can know a fact, but understanding means you have truly grasped it.
And in conversation, do you understand can sound a little sharp, almost like you are questioning whether someone is following you. A softer version is, does that make sense? Or, are you with me?
That is a great real-world tip. Learners, remember, the words you choose reflect your tone. Understand is fine, but context and delivery matter a lot.
Number 10, remember. You remember a name. You remember to call someone. You remember how something felt. I remember the first time I tried to speak French in public. I was so nervous.
Tell me about it. I remember trying to order food in Mexico City, and I mixed up pollo and polo. The waiter was very confused about why I wanted horse on my tacos.
That is amazing. And that is exactly why we learn. Okay, let's go into the next group. Let's talk about what I would call the social and communication verbs. These are the ones that make conversations flow.
Number 11, say versus tell. These two get mixed up all the time. Say is about the words themselves. Tell is about giving information to someone.
So you say something, but you tell someone something. She said it was fine. She told me it was fine. Both work, but notice that tell needs a person as its object.
Right. Tell me a story. Tell the truth. But say does not need that person. Say it again. Say what you mean.
Those are numbers 11 and 12. Let's keep going. Number 13, ask. You ask a question. You ask for help. You ask someone to do something.
Ask is a verb that every learner needs in their toolkit because being able to ask for things is survival-level communication.
Absolutely. Can I ask you something is one of the most useful sentences in English because it politely opens a door for a conversation.
Number 14, help. You help a friend, you help with a problem, you help someone understand something, and it pairs beautifully with other verbs. Can you help me find the station? I helped her prepare for the interview.
And notice, after help, you can use the infinitive with or without to. Help me find it or help me to find it. Both are correct.
Good one. Now let's hit what I think of as the everyday life verbs. These are the ones that come up when you talk about routines, plans, and changes.
Number 15, start and begin. These are almost identical in meaning. Start tends to feel a little more informal. Begin sounds slightly more serious or formal.
Let's start the meeting in casual speech. The ceremony will begin at noon in a formal context. Both mean the same thing, but the register is different.
Number 16, stop. Simple, but incredibly useful. Stop doing that. I stopped eating sugar for a month. The train stops at every station.
And stop plus a gerund, which is the ing form of a verb, means to quit an activity. Stop talking. He stopped smoking last year.
Versus stop to do something, which means you pause in order to do something else. She stopped to check her phone. That one ships up a lot of learners.
Great point. Number 17, need. This one is fundamental. You need food, you need sleep, you need help. It expresses necessity.
And need is incredibly useful for softening requests. Instead of give me the report, you say I need the report by Friday, which is firm but not aggressive.
Number 18, want. Desire. Plain and simple. I want coffee. Do you want to go for a walk? What do you want to do this weekend?
And here is a nice note. In polite situations, especially when ordering food or making requests, English speakers often use would like instead of want, because want can sound a little blunt. I would like a coffee, please, feels smoother than I want a coffee.
Perfect. Okay, we are almost at the finish line. 2 more. Number 19, use. You use a tool. You use your time. You use English in a real conversation. And for learners, the phrase get used to is incredibly handy.
Yes, get used to means to become comfortable with something over time. I am getting used to waking up early. It takes a while, but you get used to it. That is something I tell myself about French every single week.
And last but absolutely not least, number 20, keep. You keep going, you keep trying, you keep in touch with someone. This verb is a motivator.
Keep going. That might honestly be the most important phrase in this entire episode. Learning a language is hard. There will be days when you feel like you are not improving, when you forget words you thought you knew, when you mix things up.
But you keep going, you keep listening, you keep practicing, and slowly, steadily, it starts to click.
That is the process. And honestly, just listening to podcasts like this one is already a form of practice. You are hearing real speech patterns, real rhythm, real pronunciation.
So before we wrap up, let's do a quick recap of all 20 verbs. Ready?
Ready.
Get, make, do, take, give. Those are your everyday action verbs.
Think, feel, know, understand, remember. Your thinking and feeling verbs.
Say, tell, ask, help. Your social and communication verbs.
Start, stop, need, want. Your everyday life verbs.
And use, keep, to round out the list.
20 verbs. Simple, common, and absolutely essential. If you can use these comfortably and naturally, your English will sound more fluent right away.
And we want to challenge you before the next episode. Try to use at least 5 of these verbs today in a sentence you write down or say out loud, even just to yourself.
Even if it feels awkward, keep going. That is the whole point.
Before we go, if today's episode got you thinking about your English journey, you're going to want to hear our episode called The Truth About Learning English, where we get into why so many learners feel stuck even after years of studying and what actually works.
It's honestly one of our favorites because we talk about our own struggles learning French and Spanish, so it feels very real. This video is on the left side.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.